Hello and welcome to Into You, the podcast where I take a deep dive into getting to know the best you. My name is Adam Straughan, and today I have with me a very, very talented guy. So he is a virtual sensation with his online content, and he is the lead singer of metal band Daze of June, whose new single, Secret Door, is out right now. You should go and check it out. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome to the podcast Mr. Benjamin Julian. How are you doing, buddy?
Thank you so much, man. I'm doing good.
Yeah, nice one. You just come back from Sweden, right?
Yeah. I just returned like half an hour ago.
Right.
Just for one night. Yeah. So yeah, I've been driving. It's like 3.5 hours. So it's not that bad. But yeah, I was there for a meeting last night and just drove there and then drove back today.
All right. Wow, sweet. Like, so quick little trip into Sweden, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty pretty close actually.
Right. You know what? Sweden is still on my list, Ben, because like one of my favorite bands, this isn't the reason why I want to go to Sweden, but one of my favorite bands is a band called Catatonia, which you might know from
Yeah,
Sweden.
heard about it. Yeah.
Right, yeah. They're one of my favorites, obviously Opeth as well. And like, yeah, like Sweden's always been on my list. I need to explore more of that part of the world, like
Yeah.
just to get over there, man.
Yeah, man. Come to Denmark as well.
Yeah, you know what? Absolutely. I really need to check it out. I honestly need to
Dude,
get
I'll
there.
show you around.
Yeah, 100%. Let's go. How's your week been? Have you had a busy week? What's been going on?
Oh man, yeah, there's been lots of stuff going on. Last Saturday we played a little like pop-up summer gig with Daze of June in Copenhagen. So
Sweet.
that was we haven't played live for almost 2 years because there's been so much stuff going on, and I've been touring with Siamese and all that stuff. So
Right.
that was like our first show in almost 2 years. So yeah, and a big party after. So I felt that for a couple of days, and then I went to Sweden, and yeah, just lots of stuff going on, I'd say.
Right, sweet. How did it feel like stepping on the stage to perform live after 2 years of not doing it? Like, did it come straight back to you, or were you a bit nervous? Like, how did that feel?
Yeah, it came pretty natural, I'd say, but it hasn't been 2 years for me because I've been touring with Siamese. So
Okay.
yeah, I was still in the zone, I think. But it's been a while with Days of June, and there's more screaming and stuff. So I did a lot of warming up, like towards the show. But there was also, we got 2 new members. We got a new guitar player that we got from, he was playing in a band called Into Being.
Okay.
And also we got a new drummer who was the drummer of a band called Defecto. So that was their like debut concert also. So there's a lot of new stuff going on. But it was a cool little show to get us started again. So to see if we still got it, and we got a lot of good feedback, and there was a lot of people, and we sold a lot of merchandise, and that was a good little motivation that people still wanna hear Days of June.
Right, there you go, man. That's what it's all about. And
Yeah.
like, I mean, let's talk about Days of June, like the band itself. So like Days of June, obviously, we've got all of that metalcore goodness in the band, which I eat up. Like one of my favorite genres of all time. I mean, Bring Me the Horizon, Imminence, Architects, Bad Omens, like this is my jam. So yeah, absolutely, right? So like when I first heard like, Secret Door, I was like, okay, yeah, like I am in. Like I fully get it now, especially like later on when all the screaming and everything really comes in, and I guess the heavier riffs and the breakdown comes in. I'm all about that. But yeah, absolutely, man. Tell me so the band formed, was it between 2012 and 2013? Is that right?
Yeah, something like that. It was me and my childhood friend, actually. He's called Dennis, and we used to play when we were kids. We used to play in these like cover bands. We played like all sorts of stuff from Beatles to like Creed or like Bloodhound Gang and stuff. Yeah. We went to these club festivals and played that, and yeah, just had a good time. And we grew up and we didn't really play anymore. But then I was working at a hotel at the time, and he was like taking care of some kids, and they had a conference at that hotel. So we met again in like, someone 12 or 13 or whatever, and decided to like, should we like try to write some songs again? So we got a rehearsal space and just started writing music, just me on the guitar and him on the drums. And the band was actually called Archives of Alaska back then. There's still some recordings from Archives of Alaska on YouTube. I think it's pretty good. It's a bit more raw, but yeah, that's how it all started. And then we got Sylvester on the guitar, and then we got Simon on the bass, and yeah, They were just we changed the name when we got signed with Prime Collective because there's a lot of other bands with Alaska in it. It was like
Mm.
burning down Alaska and Alaska itself, or like there's a lot of the same name in that genre, or whatever.
Yeah.
So we did a brainstorm and we changed the band to Days of June, and yeah, started from there.
Nice. Okay, sweet. Yeah, it's always interesting as well when a band's like started under a different guise with a different name and then like how it evolves and changes. Obviously for
Yeah,
many reasons. Like as you said, like you had to change it because Alaska was
yeah,
used in so many different names, right?
yeah.
But
That was they got some feedback from from other labels that said like it's a cool band, but they should change the name. I was like, okay, if we should do it, then it should be now.
yeah,
Because before we release our debut album, we only released an EP with the Argos Alaska, right?
gotcha. Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, what would you say in terms of, like obviously this band, like very much that metalcore sound, right? But who would you say like are your like influences for the band? Like who would you say like your sound sonically is similar to?
Yeah, it has also evolved a lot. But like, cause when we started, it was bands like Breaking Benjamin or a bit softer or stuff. But definitely also, as you mentioned, like Bring Me the Rise and Architects, those giants has definitely been an influence as well. Uh, in the later releases, it's got a bit more like Jindy. It's more like Heart of a Coward or Wheel of Maya or
Mm,
a bit more like Jindy sound band that I took some inspiration from. But yeah, it all started back in the day when we heard like guys like Linkin Park and stuff. That's what set it
absolutely.
off. Yeah, that's what set it off. I believe. Yeah.
Right. You know what? Like speaking of Linkin Park, like Ben, like I am so pleased. Like my brother, my younger brother is like the biggest Linkin Park fan in the world. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like he saw them
Yeah.
live like something ridiculous, like 10 times and like met the band like
Mm.
5 or 6 times. But
Wow.
Download Festival, which you probably know about in the UK,
Mm.
2013, so 2013, Linkin Park headlined and they did all of the Hybrid Theory album live. And I am
So
so pleased I went. Like I went, it's the only time I saw Linkin Park live, which
uh,
regretfully now, right, obviously after what happened with Chester. But
yeah.
man, what a show. And those first two albums for me are still untouchable.
Yeah.
Love them.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolutely what like really got me into the genre. I believe that it's a hybrid theory.
Hmm.
That album is just like wow. I need to dig into this.
Yeah, man.
That and
I
also a Limp Bizkit Chocolate Starfish.
Oh,
That was also I
yes.
remember that. I was like, wow, what is this?
Yes. Yes. Oh
Yeah,
my God. What an album. I could just talk to you about
yeah,
them three albums for like 7 hours.
yeah, exactly.
No, fantastic. I love that. We went on similar music journeys as well. Like my favorite band when I was younger, I really loved a band, The Offspring. I really
Yeah.
loved them when they were around. And then slowly I started to get into like heavier stuff as time went
Seeing them
on.
on Wednesday, the festival here in
You
Copenhagen.
are?
Yeah,
Oh my God, man. That'll be
that's been like that.
sweet.
Yeah, that's been on my bucket list. And there was like, yeah, to this year's the year, so they're finally coming.
Yes. Oh man, that's gonna be so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, The Kids Aren't All Right is like one of my favorite songs of all time. So like to see
yeah.
that live like blew my face off. Like
Oh my God,
I
yeah.
love it. Yes.
Yeah. The whole
Um,
Americana also for me is just like, yeah, I could like sing it from start to end by heart.
yes.
Yeah,
Honestly, perfect album, Chef's Kiss. I love
yeah,
that album.
exactly.
Conspiracy of One as well, I really, really like.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, All right, but like in terms of like, so I guess personally, like Ben as well, and then with the band, how do you approach like, what would you say your writing process is? So like, it's interesting this question. I've had a few people on the podcast who are from bands, and it's different every time. So like, I know some people say they start with like, a word or a concept, and then they like build out from that. Sometimes people just draw on like experience from say like a text message conversation. And there's
Mm.
different things. Sometimes they're inspired by seeing an image or watching a movie. But just for you personally, I guess with the band, what's your writing process?
Yeah, the way we normally do, no matter who like writes or starts the numbers, is we start with a like a sketch of a song. We start with the music,
Mhm.
so it could be a riff or whatever. Um, the first album, Heart of Silver, it was me personally who wrote that, and then we got Sylvester in. Like he think he joined like half of the album or something, but it starts with a skits whatever of a song, and then we just like we build on uh, effects, and then we make melodies. I normally make melodies with my manager Mirza, my good friend. We make like the melodies for the chorus or whatever, and then in the end we write the text for the song. That's the last part. That's the text.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay. So
we made the words fit the music.
right. Yeah, that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Is there a song in particular? Obviously, I know you said you wrote the whole album, the first album yourself. Is there a particular song or like a moment within that album that you think, yeah, that was my favorite thing to write?
From the first album, or
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, there's the opener. It's called Two Sons, and that
Mhm.
was just like we got this riff where we just wanted to go gang 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 gang, and we want that like motor sound, right?
Hmm.
So I sat with the producer. I was like, we need that sound, and we looked for other bands who had that sound, and we found the band Gideon.
Hmm.
They had like this gritty sound on the guitar.
Yeah.
So we played a bit of that. Then we played our sound, and then we like back and forth until we had that kan sound, as we call it. And
Right.
yeah, that we made that happen on the song called Two Sons. And I remember the feedback was like, how do you get that sound? Like there was really good like response
Hmm.
from that guitar sound that Chris Kreuzfeld is called the producer that he made on that song.
Hmm. That's sweet,
Yeah,
man. No, I love that, like that conk like sound is all like
yeah,
you're talking
yeah.
about. For
Uncon-
me, that's so interesting. I mean, I'm personally not a musician, but like to draw from, when I hear particular bands or like an album for the first time, there's always like a certain section of like their sound that like I gravitate towards. So for example,
yeah.
like the band Imminence, who I absolutely adore, they're one of my favorites. Obviously, they
He
use like
wrote
a
the synths for Tainted Blood, our second album.
shut up, really?
Yeah,
Oh my
Eddie, the lead
God.
singer. Yeah, yeah,
Mind
yeah,
blown. And
yeah.
you know
He
what that
also
makes
illustrated the music video for Sun.
that makes complete sense because I was going to say like
Yeah,
the use of the violin like in their music that
mm,
makes complete sense
yeah,
now, right? I've put all the pieces together. Jesus.
yeah,
But even just like yeah, like that use of like violin in their music and obviously synths in
yeah,
yours as well.
yeah,
I eat that up. I eat that, especially
yeah.
when like when I always talk about this when I'm like talking about music or reviewing music when everything takes a breath for a second and that one
Mm,
instrument like gets to shine like it becomes like the
yeah,
lead vocal for a second. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. And then the part after just is so much stronger because of that.
Yes. You know what? Absolutely that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man. Yes. Love that. That's incredible.
yeah, yeah.
For the band
Yeah,
Days of
he's a
June,
talented guy, man.
oh honestly, like and vocally
Yeah,
as well, like what a
yeah,
growl, what a
yeah,
voice. I am
yeah,
here for it.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
in terms of the band, like Days of June, like what do you have coming up? So obviously you've just had the new single that's dropped, which is a banger, by the way. Go and check it out. It's
Mm,
on my Instagram story right now. But
cheers.
but yeah, have you got like an album coming up? Are you kind of going to start touring again with the band more? Like, what do you think is coming up there?
Yeah, we're probably gonna do an EP again because I have
Nice.
like 3 or 4 songs ready. They just need vocal recording, and when they're done, we're probably gonna release it as an EP
Hmm.
because we need to release some stuff now. Also, because we've been gone for so long. So for the management to pitch to both tours and to other labels and stuff, then we need to have some more stuff released. We just got the 2 singles now, and that's the Matriarch and Secret Door.
Hmm.
So yeah, when we've recorded the 4 maybe 5 songs more, we're gonna release those, and then hopefully maybe there's gonna be a little fall tour or whatever. But right now the focus is to release some music because we need some more stuff to work with and for the management to be able to pitch to potential tours and stuff.
Right, sweet. So
Yeah.
yeah, a little cheeky EP coming out there. That'll be exciting. I'm
Uh,
looking forward to that,
yeah,
man. That'll be sweet.
many more people are doing that, because people are releasing their songs as singles anyway, s-
Hmm.
for it to get on the Spotify playlists and stuff. So sometimes you're gonna release an album and like 8 of the songs have been singles anyway. So like,
Right.
might as well just release if you have 6 songs, then try and release an EP. So get some stuff out there, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, like Bring Me the Horizon just did that recently with their like
Oh yeah.
survival horror and like series, right? Like so the
Mm,
first album, like Survival Horror, like that was an EP. And then
yeah.
although all he talks about and says, I see that as an album. And then like the most recent
Mm,
album, Next Gen, which I adore, is a full album. But a lot of the singles
yeah.
were released from that. So I know exactly what you're saying there. That makes
Yeah.
sense. All right, so I want to talk about you personally, Ben. So openly LGBTQ plus performers, they're kind of like a minority really in like the heavier metal music scene. And I
Mm.
guess like, for me personally, like I'm an openly gay man. So like, I take notice of when there are LGBTQ plus performers that enter that space. But like yourself, as an openly bisexual man, like how do you kind of navigate that? And do you feel any kind of sense of representation with you being in that space as a bisexual man?
Mm. Well, yeah, I don't feel like I have a responsibility per se, but
Hmm.
I do make an effort out of showing it, and also showing that there's like it's not those stereotypes that many people think gay people are or bisexual people are, that those people that you see in the parades and stuff. So yeah, to show that there can be all these types in rock and metal too. Like it's not only those kind of people that I like to show, and I like to surprise uh, people in that matter. Take a lot of effort on my personal profiles to like make it a safe space and make it a community, and to tell people and guide people. I've never met really like resistance myself, but I know many people have, and
Hmm.
I like to help, and I like to yeah, do what I can. But on the Days of June, I haven't really made a big deal out of it, because also it's like, what does it really matter?
You know what? That's fair. And it's interesting because, like, as I say, like, for me personally, like, I have, a big love of like metal music and a lot of it, even like heavier stuff like death metal music, black metal music, like all of this. For me, I take like
Mm.
bands from all sorts of different genres within the metal space. And a lot of it,
Yeah.
like, isn't, I don't see a lot of like, LGBTQ plus performers within that space. But like, I love that, that's one thing about being in like the metal zone is that I don't feel like I meet a lot of other, I guess, gay people that are into the music that I'm into. So it's nice,
Mm.
like when I see performers, like you and I were just talking about bands there that we absolutely love, like, and
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
love that stuff. Like that's the kind of stuff I love. And then coming to see
Yeah.
music that I love with people that love it as well,
Mm.
like I eat that up, and it's great to see that. Like, at last, it's felt like for a long time in my life I haven't been able to have those conversations with a lot of my gay friends. So it's really nice to
Yeah,
have that space.
absolutely.
I guess has the LGBTQ plus community like responded to yourself and the band in any particular way? Like, have you had feedback about that or?
I mean, I've joined a few podcasts, and there's some medias that reached out. I was in, what is it called, Hellbent for Metal.
Hmm.
It's a yeah, it's also a middle LGBT sort of podcast. I was on that with the lead singer of Tesseract that time, Ashi O'Hara,
Hmm. Sweet.
also a gay guy. Yeah. So yeah, stuff like that, and other medias that has like made small articles and stuff about it, but there haven't been like real big respond from the gay Days of June. I'd say. I mean, on my personal profiles, on the big ones where I also share like reels and stuff, and do
Yeah.
more of the gay stuff. There's been a lot. I've been a lot of medias, and especially when I got bigger, a creator on there and stuff, right? So there was a lot of articles in gay magazines and stuff, but they haven't really been like towards Days of June, I'd say. But they
Right.
also mentioned, some of them, that he's also the lead singer of Days of June. No, wasn't the other way around?
As they should do, because that's literally
Hmm.
what you do, man.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Obviously, as
Mm.
well, talking about that with your online content, with some of those reels that have been popping off with some of the view counts, which have been incredible.
Yeah.
You are also like a part of OnlyFans, so you're an online
Mm.
performer there as well.
Yeah.
When did you decide to step into like the world of OnlyFans? Like, when did you decide to make that decision of, yeah, I'm going to give this a go and see how it goes?
Mm. I started in, I think it was the start of November
Hmm.
last year, so it hasn't been going on for a while, and it wasn't really my idea. Like I've been, because I've doing like the I'm teasing, and I'm like doing gay content, and like all those stuff. So people have been, since I started, like just commenting that I should do it, and the daily DMs about it, and I also like thinking, I'm not gonna do it, and maybe one day, and who knows, whatever. So, but it just came a time when also I lost my mom and stuff. That also maybe made me take that other step, because then I haven't had that like in the back of my head, that with the family knows and stuff. But I just got more. It just got more clear to me that I should do whatever made me happy and what I wanted to do. And then it's kind of like, why not? Like, let's just try it out, and then give the people what they want. And it's actually just, it's very easy for me, if I'm being completely honest. I have a super high drive, and it's just it's just very easy for me to do this stuff and to do it besides my music. That's even better. That's two things that I'm just enjoying. So I'm just having fun with it. So I get to travel, I get to meet new people, and get to come home playing concerts and like yeah, it's very good so far.
You know, you've
Yeah,
highlighted it exactly there. Like, if you enjoy it and you get to do it, you get to blow off some steam there as well, which is
yeah,
incredible if you've got a high drive, which is
absolutely.
fair enough.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously, I want to say as well, I'm sorry to hear about the loss of your mother.
Yeah, thanks.
But that's obviously an interesting thing as well. Like, when you go into OnlyFans, because as you said there, like there was a worry there about like, oh, what if my family find out? What will they say? What if
Yeah.
my friends find out? Like, what will they
Mm,
think as well? Has there
yeah.
been? I mean, obviously, you said like, I don't care, I'm going to do it. I enjoy it and it's fun, and that's what it's all
Yeah.
about. That's the main thing. Has there
Mm.
been any kind of hesitancy with kind of friends? Like, have they mentioned it, or has there been any kind of hesitancy with family knowing anything like that about it?
I think like some friends think I'm crazy, other friends think I'm cool. But like, yeah, most of them like they know and they accept it. And I think some of my family, my brother knows and stuff, but we don't really talk that much about it. But I think they
Yeah.
know. So that's fine with me. I'm not what do you call it? It's not that I'm shy, but I'm not scared or what do you call it?
Hmm. You're not
Uh,
embarrassed by it or anything?
Embarrassed by it. There was one say, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all good, man. And there's the money part in it too. Like I didn't do it for the money, but the money gives me some freedom to do more of the stuff that I want to do. But
Mm.
it's not that was not the reason because I was already doing fine money wise. But of course it pays well as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's always nice to have a bonus, right, on the side. And
Yeah,
as
exactly.
you've said it's given you opportunities, right? So like you've traveled and such with it as well. So like, what have those opportunities been like that you've gotten from, deciding to do OnlyFans?
Yeah, but that opportunities is just doing more music, doing more stuff that I want to do. Like
Hmm.
that's what it's all about. So like unfortunately, you need money, but money buys you freedom. Like it is that's the way that the possibility to do more of the stuff that you want to do. And I was
So you said like you worked for a law firm and now you're on a kind of a hiatus from that right now and you're probably not going to go back. Is that correct?
yeah, that's right. Like I went down in time
Hmm.
already. Like before I started OnlyFans, I was like 4 days a week because I
Hmm.
wanted to focus on some other stuff. Then I went down to 3 days a week, and now I'm like a leave of absence. I think that's what it's called. Like when you're still there, but you're like away for a couple of months and you're
Like a
not getting
career
paid.
break. Yeah.
Kind of that. So yeah, we're gonna talk and see if, when half of the time that I've left for is right. Like what's gonna happen now? Am I coming back? Am I not? Because they know I'm probably not. So yeah, we will see what happens. Right now, there's no need for it, and it's all working. We're working out very well right now. So
Okay. Yeah, sweet. You know what? Like, I get that as well. Like, I had a career break for a year from my job, so I'm in America right now. Like, this is where I've moved to. Like, I live in New York City, but I'm
all right.
obviously my accent. I'm obviously from England, but
Yeah,
so when I was over there, I worked for the railway, and then I took a year out, and I came and like explored life here and what it would be like here, and just to give it
yeah,
like a trial run, and then obviously things worked out. So I did the same thing. I went back, and I was like, you know what, guys, this has been absolutely amazing. Thank you, but I think my
yeah,
life's over there now. And then, so I get it. And
yeah.
I encourage that, like, take time out of your schedule, however long it is to be, to go and explore different
Mm,
avenues because you never know where that
absolutely,
might
man.
take you. And that seems like
Yeah,
what's happened with you, right?
absolutely, and that's also something to do with the loss of my mom. Like it's like everything got more clear by that. Like it was first I was all the way down, but then I was like seeing things more clearly. um Somebody told me that it's like being in a chopper and like you get lifted up and like you just see your life from above. Like
Yeah.
where should I, is there some points that I need to change, where do I need to go and stuff. And I just acted on a lot of stuff when I was finally over it. Like I knew what I wanted to do. I started doing stuff that I haven't been doing that I wanted to and stuff, and just took chances because life is too fucking short, man, and you need to be happy. You need to take chances. I just say you don't have to stay in the same job if you don't like it. You will figure it out. Get another job. Just try figure something out. Find out what you want to do, what motivates you. That's what's all about.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I couldn't have said it better myself, Ben. Like
Yeah,
that's it. Like, and look at
yeah,
it now. Like, you said earlier, like you're doing like different things. You're with the band, obviously you're doing like online stuff as well, but you're enjoying
Mm,
it. And like
absolutely.
sometimes it's so hard to find that in a career where like
Yeah.
that feels like a win where if you're in a career that you really enjoy it. And it's that
Mm,
old phrase of like, you don't work a day in your life if you enjoy your work, but it is
yeah,
that. But you don't know
it
that
is.
unless you pause and then explore different avenues, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I always said that it's like people that are doing their hobby as a job, like that is like winning lotto because then it's not a job. Then it's just yeah, this.
Speaking of both careers, I guess, so obviously with like bands and obviously with your online content, what would you say have been some of the highlights of what you've done so far, like in life?
Like musical wise, I have to say with Siamese last year, I joined Siamese as the lead singer because me as my manager and my good friend, he was becoming a father.
Mhm.
So we had to set that one out, and he wanted me to take over. So we toured first Europe in April, and then we went to America and Canada in May, and then we ended up playing Roskilde Festival, and that's like the biggest festival in Denmark,
Nice.
and also my home city. I live in Roskilde, so that was like, yeah, that was bucket list stuff, like to be able to just go to America, tour over there, meet people, and then finishing off at the biggest festival, which is also like a festival that I've been coming to since I was a kid, and a festival that my mom has been spamming with my music since I started doing music. It's a yeah, it was a shame she didn't get to see that, but that was definitely something really special.
Mm. And you know what?
Yeah.
Like, I think, whatever you believe, I think she saw it. And I think, wherever
Yeah,
she is now, she was proud. And I think that's incredible
absolutely.
that like
Yeah.
that's something that, that's really cool that you've been going there since a child and yet,
Mm.
you've been in the audience watching bands and now you've been able to
Yes.
turn that around and be on that stage that you've looked
Yeah.
up at since being
Yeah.
a kid. That's super cool, man. That's a huge
Yeah.
achievement.
That was crazy. Yeah.
I bet. Um,
Yeah.
in terms of like, obviously, I guess with all sorts of careers, you come across challenges, right? Like challenges in your field of work. And you must have had them with like, the bands, I guess, or like anything else that you've worked on. What would you say have been some of like the biggest challenges for you and how have you worked through them?
It was kind of hard now after doing all this stuff with Siamese, being on the road and playing for big crowds and stuff. It was
Mm,
kind of hard to go back to Days of June, not because they're not as far as Siamese, but also because we've been away for a while.
yeah.
So we sort of had to start over some places. Like there's some new guys on Spotify, so we didn't get as much lists and there and we, the concert, as I said at the beginning, like we got shown that people still want to hear us, and we still get like decent streams and stuff. And the new songs are good, man. I really believe that, but we kind of have to start a bit over because we've been gone for so long,
Right.
and also for me that I've been doing these great things. It's like taking a step back. So the challenging here can be to stay motivated,
Mm,
but and then again, we are having fun. We got these two new guys and they bring a lot of new stuff to the band. There's the new guitar player Andreas Biano. He is such a technical guy, so he made our whole like equipment and setup much more professional and stuff. And like it's just there's some new energy and new motivation here. But yeah, that can be challenging to just keep on going because we
mm.
also been going for like 10 years now, and there's still not like huge things happening. But you know what? As long as we're having fun, and as long as we're still enjoying making this music, we're not going to stop.
You know what?
So
Like
yeah,
absolutely, and like you're
yeah,
stepping onto stages, you're performing to big crowds, like that. That's
mm.
absolutely sick, man. As you said, you're still enjoying it, so you're not going to stop, right? You're going to keep going with that. What would you say, I guess, on this journey with you, like with music, and I guess even like doing the online content with OnlyFans as well? What would you say some of the things that you've discovered about yourself? So say like 10 years ago, you never thought maybe like you would see or know this about yourself that you know now.
That there's nothing that you have to do. Like you don't have to be in the same job. You don't have to take the same job as your dad. And if you're in even a religion that you don't want, like you don't have to stay there. Like it got much more clear to me how important all these things are. That you need to enjoy what you do, and fucking it's a cliche, but carpe diem, baby. Like live in the now. It's
Yeah.
yeah, that's that's definitely something that I very much live by now, and something that I found out a bit too late because it's a bit sad that it took the death of my mom to make this completely clear to me. But yeah, sometimes that's how it works.
Yeah. And you know what? Like,
Yeah.
when you obviously grieve a big loss, especially someone as close, obviously, as your own mother, like it obviously will put a lot into perspective, right? Where you start to think about, wow, like life can be so short. But I think,
Yeah.
you said you might have done it too late, which is, absolutely fine to say that. But I think as well, at least you've done it. Because I think there's a lot of people that spend their whole lives stuck in like a miserable routine or job that they don't like for whatever reason, whatever the circumstances are, and
Yeah.
they never get that. So it's so cool
No.
that it's happened for you now and like you're doing things that you're really enjoying and experimenting, and that's what it's all about, man. I love that for you.
Yeah. And they maybe find out, but they find out too late. So they
Yes.
found out, and then they realize, fuck, I spent 10 years doing this. Like I should have done this 10 years ago, and that's just sad, 'cause that's a
Hmm.
waste of life.
Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah.
it can be that, and I mean some of my own experience. Like, so I'm like in my 30s now, but when I came out when I was 26, and I always
Mm,
felt like that was way too late to come out because I had all of my teenage years and everything like that. But I always just
mm,
kind of retrospectively think back and think, yeah, I lost a lot of time there, but like I'm out now and I'm living my best life, and I had some of the best years I've had since coming
mm,
out up until right now. So I kind of take pleasure in the fact that, yeah, I did miss out some of that time, and there's a little bit of resentment there for the reasons why, but I
mm.
still love the fact that I'm there now, and I can enjoy life and
Yeah,
live life, and I think that's what it's about.
yeah, absolutely. And we're still young. You can still make up for it.
Absolutely that, man. Absolutely that.
Yeah.
Um, all right, Ben, I need to ask you about some of your favorites. I love doing this. I love getting like back like some of the favorite things from people that I talk to. So
Okay.
I didn't know straight away, like tell me who are some of your favorite bands? Not like don't give me like your top five. Just give me like some of your favorite
Mm.
bands of all time that you love, and who are you listening to right now?
Yeah. Definitely who I'm listening to right now, because we went to a show in Copenhagen with Hardware Coward,
Hmm.
and they brought a support band called The City Is Ours, and they just like blew my mind. Like that
Yeah.
guy who was the lead singer, he sounded like the guy from Fall Out Boy, but it's just like Fall Out Boy with on steroids. And
Whoa.
yeah, like you need to check them out if you don't know them. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I've had this one song on my mind for like 3 weeks. Uh, my God, man, that's yeah. So I'm really listening to them a lot right now.
Hmm.
All time favorites, man. Yeah, there is. You can also like go back to Bring Me the Horizon and Architects again. That's also like and the early Parkway Drive and stuff. It's the big ones
Hmm.
that I remember. Right, we
I
can
mean,
take it all
bring
the way back to Linkin Park and stuff again on Limp Bizkit. All that.
yeah.
Like, yeah,
And you still listen to them now, right? Like you go back sometimes to like
yeah.
Linkin Park, like the first couple of albums and stuff. Like
Oh, word.
absolutely.
Yeah, especially when you're drinking, you just throw that on and everybody sing along.
Yes. Like honestly,
Yeah.
like when I am out, like literally the other day, like a couple of weeks ago, I was out. There was a drag show that was on in New York, and I was there, and it's a lot of like, pop dance music playing because of course it is. But then like Panic at the Disco,
Yeah.
their first album, which is a guilty
Oh, fuck
pleasure
yeah.
of mine, right?
Yeah,
Like that
same.
first album, great.
Yeah.
And then a
Awesome.
song from that, Time to Dance, came on, and I was like, everybody
Yeah.
stop. This is a banger.
Yeah.
And I
This
just
is
went
mine.
insane.
Yeah, that one I write sins but not tragedy, or what's it called? The long title.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's awesome,
Yeah.
man.
And it just starts like, oh, well, imagine. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I am
exactly.
there. I don't need to
Yes.
imagine. I am there.
No, no, no. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
absolutely.
But you know what, like, yes, like when I'm out, whenever like, and I love when that happens. Sometimes that happens here where like, they'll randomly throw like a random old school, like, rock song or like pop song or something like that, or like a metal
Yeah.
song, like, and I'm just like,
Killing in the
whoa,
name of.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
that
I love that.
absolutely. Or like Down with the Sickness starts, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah,
when you hear the drum beat start, like I'm all over
yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff. Love it, man.
yeah.
Um, who are some of your guilty pleasures? So like I guess the music that you wouldn't normally listen to in terms of rock and metal music, but who are like some of the artists outside of that you're like, you know what? Like I might not normally
Mm.
listen to that type of music, but I really love this.
Yeah. I mean, like, well, the people that know me knows that I'm a huge believer, but
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, I like the Justin Bieber also because he's hot.
Yeah.
But yeah, he made some bangers. But yeah, what else? I mean, I'm a huge fan of John Mayer as well.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's
Okay.
not like I wouldn't call that a guilty pleasure.
Hmm.
That's just a pleasure. But yeah, that kind of stuff. That I
Hmm.
also played some of that with my mates back in the day, like just two acoustic guitars and a lot of John Mayer and Gavin DeGraw and
Mm.
stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah,
That's interesting you say that because in my job that I had before I came here, one of my friends, Scott, he's massively into John Mayer and he used to play him in the audience quite often. And then I said
yeah.
to him one time, I was like, "Oh, you must know the band City and Colour." And he was
Mm.
like, "No." And I was like, "If you love John Mayer, you should check out City and Colour." There was a band
Oh
called
yeah,
Alexis on Fire, and the singer, the clean vocalist from that, Dallas Green, he's in the band and it's his band. And if you
uh,
like John Mayer, check out City and Colour, man. Like honestly, it's that chilled out acoustic vibe, so good, so meaningful. And like, yeah, that was kind of because I wasn't massively into John Mayer either, but once we kind of swapped like music recommendations and that was
yeah,
my
yeah,
way in, and now he
yeah.
plays City and Colour. So yeah, you should check him out. That's my recommendation to you.
Absolutely. City in colors.
City and Colour. Yeah, singular.
City in color.
Yeah. Yeah,
Got
got
it.
it.
Because
Check him
I
out.
heard Alexis. What do you call this? Alexis on
Alexis on
fire.
Fire. Yeah.
I heard that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like they were like a, more of like that metal type of rock sound. But then yeah, like
Yeah.
the clean vocalist, obviously Dallas Green, he went and did this other thing, and it's just
Mm.
so different from that, but so beautiful, man. So chilled, so acoustic. It's so nice. Do you have any favorite albums that you like come back to all the time from any artists? Where obviously we talked about the Linkin Park albums, but are there any particular that you
Yeah.
think, man, that album is perfection. I love that album.
On the top of my head, again, we got the Linkin Park's first, like Hybrid Theory,
Mm.
and also Limp Bizkit, Chocolate Starfish, and the more newer stuff. I remember, I don't even remember what it's called, but it's a Memphis May Fire album.
Oh,
It's
okay.
maybe called Haunted or something. I remember that first time I heard that they introduced me to this like way of playing, this like offbeat kind of genty, but still like weird tones like da go ga go 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 ga go go ga go. Like I was like,
Mm.
how do you count this? How do you do this stuff? But it's like a lot of bands are doing it now, like the way of like chugging in these offbeats and the drums just follow da 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 da. And you're like, I don't even know how you do that.
Right.
So that was like an eye opener for me. I remember in this genre as well. And
Mm.
I listened to that album like yeah, so much.
That's interesting. It's interesting you bring that up because the band Meshuggah, they have an album called Obson. And I,
They were not
yeah,
probably the ones who started it. It
yeah,
was Jenny, but
exactly.
yeah,
And I remember the first time I heard them play, and I was like, I want to see this written down. Like,
yeah.
how did they, you know what I mean? How do they
How do you
make it
count it?
work?
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
yeah.
And then like when you think, all right, so I'm kind of getting my head around this, suddenly it changes again. You're like, what? How did
Mm.
we? What is going on?
Yeah,
But
yeah, exactly. You can't even want to no fuck this like.
yeah, yeah, exactly
Yeah.
right. But yeah,
But they're
I
also
yeah.
Swedish band actually. Sugar.
Yeah, there you go. See,
Yeah.
Swedish man, honestly, got some great bands there. Some of my favorites. I mean, again, like the first two Linkin Park albums, like because like 2000 was a magic time for that type of music started to come out. I mean, Hybrid
Yeah.
Theory will always go down as a special album for me because I remember like when I first sat down and listened to that, and I was like, oh my God, like it
Yeah.
blew my mind. And then obviously, everything after that as well, just incredible.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
in terms of talking about Swedish bands like Catatonia, like The Great Cold Distance is one of my favorite albums of all time. Like I could listen to that from start to finish and love it.
Oh yeah. You check that
Yeah,
out. I haven't been really listening to California.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's interesting. Like Catatonia's sound has really evolved like through the years. Like when they started, they were much more of like a doom metal band with like a harsh vocal. The
Oh
lead
yeah.
singer Jonas broke his voice, so he
Oh
had to
shit.
like n nurse it back round. And now they do all clean vocals.
Huh.
So yeah, man. So like the sound is like more like dark, like I guess depressive rock. But
Okay.
I love the sound of his voice. Like I could listen to it every single day. But like The Great
Right.
Cold Distance was like their big album really from like that period going forward. It's like a lot more clean vocals, but still melodically fantastic.
2000s, like those System of a Down, early System of a Down albums.
Yes.
That's also,
Toxicity.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. That's also hilarious.
honestly. Like the
Yeah,
song like Aerials, like like I used to have
yeah,
that on repeat.
yeah.
Um, man, like honestly,
Great
like
song.
stuff like that. And then it takes me back to classics around that era as well. Like kind of between like 2000 and 2010, there was some great stuff like, Alien
Absolutely.
Ant Farm's first album and like stuff like
Yeah,
that's Sum 41 I saw here about a month or so ago now, like in the city, because I don't
yeah.
know if you know, like this is their final tour and then they're done. And they were amazing. Like hearing stuff like Fat Lip and all of that, like live was just
Yeah,
amazing. Like In Too
God,
Deep was just incredible,
yeah.
you know, like the
You
classics.
can tell we're from the same generation
The
in those
best
sort of.
generation.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Benji. Well, this has been incredible, honestly. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to come and chat to me. This has been
Absolutely, man.
awesome. Can you let everybody know like where they can find you? Like what's your handle on social media pages and everything like that for you and your bands?
Yeah, sure. So I have, of course, Days of June on Instagram, and then I have my like band account called Days of Julian, and then I have like my the more gay LGBT bigger Instagram that's called Benjamin Julian DK. So that's the yeah same name on the other socials.
There you go, man. So go and check that out and go and give them all a follow for quality content and go and check out the music as well. But yeah, I just want to say, obviously, the podcast as well. You know, you can watch this podcast as well as all the other ones that I've done on YouTube. So if you do want to come and watch these videos, just type in Into You Podcast. You will find it on there. We are available on all streaming platforms. So you can just type in the name and again, you will find us on there. If you want to follow me personally, I am at Straughan87 on all social media. Come and say hello to me on there. So again, Ben, I just want to say a big thank you for doing this, man. This has been incredible. Been so nice chatting to you. And yeah, until
Absolutely.
next time, everyone take care.